Hey, Jason Rice here, another lot party quick tip. And we're testing this whole system out. This is a Vimeo Go Live. I'm posting it live to my company page, doing it to YouTube and all the Facebook pages. So again, this is a tryout. I don't get to see some of your guys' comments. I'm going to maybe pull up Facebook now live and see if I can see any posts or comments that I can maybe reply to. But I'm going to go over stocking right now and a couple of things because I'm in this Vimeo. If you're doing the comments down below, please do. And I will reply to those comments after the fact. But one of the things I'm doing on this is, we're changing some things to help dealers with stocking. And one of the things that we're realizing going through this is, we need to look at the percentages instead of the units. And I'm going to try to do a screen share here and see if this all works. And oh, hold on. I am going to do this. So let me do the screen share right here. And I am going to share this screen and I'm going to go right here. Now, I believe you're actually seeing my screen right now. And one of the reasons why I wanted to pull this store up and why I said, hey, you need to look at percentages instead of the actual units. And I'm showing you units here, but we're actually going to be converting this over as we started looking at this and said, all right, this doesn't make sense. And I bring this up because there's some inventory tools that will show you, hey, you sold 10, you have 5 in stock, you need 5, but that's not relevant to, again, the percentage. So now this isn't a dealer that's kind of to the extreme, but I want you to kind of understand what we're talking about here. Because he's got, if you see here, he's got 96 in stock, but sold 156 in the last 30 days. So, and so I don't want him to stock 156 and see this difference right here. So he has 33 large pickup trucks in stock, sold 51. So we're saying you need 18. A lot of stocking tools will say that, but he really doesn't. Now this predictor means we're looking at, he's got 4 more that should be leaving soon. Of the 33, there's 4 more that should be leaving soon. So we're actually telling him to go after 22. Now, 2 things that we're going to be doing is we went from a 45-day window to a 30-day window. I'm going to be looking at a 2-week window because I want multiple reasons. It takes usually 2 weeks to buy a car, transport it, get it through service, get it photoed, get it online. It'll take anywhere from 7 to 14 days a lot of times. So I want to show a true number of what cars you need to really be buying right now. Because again, this 22 for large pickup trucks is going to be mostly for the month, right? If it's a 30-day sale rate, you're going to pace that out over the month. And I'd rather give you numbers that you need to be buying right now. Another reason why I'm looking at 2 weeks is we're going to go into a slowdown. April and May usually slows down. And if I'm looking at a 45 or 30-day trend, an average, I'm not going to catch that slowdown for about 3 weeks, and it won't show in your averages because I'm looking at 30 or 45 days. So by looking at 2 weeks, we're going to catch that a lot quicker. Now, when I look at, he has 96 in stock, selling 156. Again, this is a dealer to the extreme, but I want to show you, this is the first one that popped up that I show you example of what I mean by stocking to percentages and not by units. So here's the example. He has 33 trucks in stock with 96 total inventory. So he's carrying 34% of his current inventory is in trucks. Okay. Now let's go to the sales. He sold 51 into the 156 he sold 33%. So he's actually carrying percentage wise just a 1% heavy. So technically he might not need to be carrying any more right now. Now, the only reason why, we would say 18 is because for him to stock, that means he's got 96 in stock. We're telling him to go grab another 60. If he did buy it all right now, actually a total buy of 76. If he did go buy all that right now, he'd be sitting at 160 units, and he doesn't need that. Okay. Yeah, maybe if he's carried 160 or 170, he'd sell 200, but I'm not going to shove that kind of inventory into my turnaround time, which could slow things down. So you got to look at, because it's relevant to, the percentage is relevant to Let me hear, hold on. Let me go back here and I'm going to stop screen sharing. Because I wanted to kind of get you to understand that is, when you're, same thing's going to happen when you are running, when you only have, maybe you have 150 in stock and only selling 96, right? I want you to be able to not carry to what your sale rate. We want to carry percentage wise in stock to what your percentage wise selling, regardless if it's 10 units or 150 units. Okay, so if that makes sense, and again, I think you need to look at a shorter sales cycle so you can react faster to your needs. If your inventory sales just start picking up and you're starting to sell a lot and starting to sell it real fast, that's what happens a lot of times when we help dealers right out the gate. We get their volume shooting up, and the volume shoots up, and we're looking at initially was 45 days and then 30 days. We're looking at that 30-day sales cycle. I might not be telling them to stock fast enough to keep up with that volume. And so we're going to look at a 2-week window so we can catch sales cycles faster. We could check market adjustments faster. If things start slowing down, there's less shoppers and we're going into a slower season, we're going to catch that faster. And then you got to look at what you need to be buying this week, not over a 30 or 45 day period. Because then, how many do you really need? If it says, hey, you need 10, well, is that 10 based off of the next 45 days? So you really only need 1 or 2 this week. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your inventory, because the fluctuation of inventory levels, I think it causes a lot of bleed through problems. And what I mean by that is all of a sudden you get a really fast selling weekend. You sell a bunch of cars, so then you go stock up, and instead of buying 10 cars over the weekend because of the weekend sales, you go buy 20, and now your service department, your photos, parts, and everything, they're jammed up because they're used to handling the pace of 10 cars. Now you're throwing 20 at them, and because, again, you weren't anticipating, that's why we did the lot predictor. We're looking at not just what's sold, but what's going to be leaving your lot soon. And if you just want to think about it yourself, if you got a pretty strict aging policy, let's say 60 or 75, or a soft 60 with a hard 75 or whatever you do, those cars that are 50, 60 days old technically should be off your lot in the next 2 weeks, week or two. So already be looking for its replacement. So when it does take 7 to 14 days to get a car, transport it, get it through your service and parts, by the time this car sells, the other one's coming out of service and replacing it. If you wait till it sells to then go buy it, you could have that slot empty in your lot for 2 weeks. And then again, if you have a slow week and you don't buy too much, all of a sudden you blow up and now you got to scramble and buy a bunch and then you got to shove it in. It's just so looking at carry rates and sales rates and looking at a faster cycle, you're going to catch it sooner. And so everything when you're buying, transporting, and all that is so important. So think about that. Look at your percentages of your inventory to the percentages of your sales to get what you need, not just raw numbers. And again, another example, let's say if we said he's 10% light in large trucks, meaning he needs what he's carrying is 10% light to what he's been selling, take that 10% into your inventory level. So again, if I got 100 cars in stock and I'm 10% light on my trucks to my sale rate, 10% of 100 is you need to go buy 10 cars. You need 10 more cars to represent that, to get you back to that 10% ratio. So on that, what you need to buy, if you need to put a raw number to it, okay, because, all right, well, you tell me 10%, but is that 1 car or 10 cars? Take that percentage, whatever it is, and then divide it into your inventory to know how many units you do need to chase. So we're breaking that all down. Our lot stock tool, is actually, you don't have to be a client. It's $295. It's all historical data, year, make, model, trims. We could show you what to sell. I don't want to turn this into pitch, but if you're interested in some of that, just let me know. LotPop.com. You get a free inventory evaluation, or just tell us you want to look at the lot stock. That's working for any Max Digital V-Auto clients. So if you want a free inventory evaluation, LotPop.com, YouTube, all these get posted to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. You'll get notified, and I end up loading these up on podcasts if you want to listen to